Hey, what's up, everybody? You're on the Green Room podcast with Neil Griffiths, presented by our pals on the Handshake Media Network. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are listening to this podcast. It's a very exciting episode because this week I am joined for actually the second time by 5 Seconds of Summer. The guys were in the country on the back of the huge Firefight Australia concert at ANZ Stadium on Sunday in front of 75,000 people. No big deal. They did some promo this week to support the forthcoming album called Calm. It's due out on 27th of March. I sat down with Luke, Callum, and Michael. Ashton was going to do the interview, but then he had to go sign some CDs at the last minute. So, would have been good to talk to Ashton. But actually, we do need to give a special shout out to EMI because earlier this week, I was lucky enough to go aboard a very fancy yacht with about 15 people, including Five Sauce, to hear some of these new songs. Tracks that obviously haven't been released publicly yet. I know we've had a couple with Teeth and Easier and No Shame, but there's a couple ones on there, and the guys were introing these ones on the boat and just giving a bit of backstory to them. And for people who loved Youngblood, obviously that was a big step in a new direction for Five Sauce. If you love Youngblood, then I can say with confidence, you will absolutely love Calm. I say in this interview, if Youngblood was like the taster for where Five Sauce are moving towards, Calm solidifies that in a very, very big way. Cool new sounds, very reminiscent. Like Ashton mentioned, some of the inspirations, like a band like America, who, if you don't know America, Horse with No Name, Ventura Highway. It's a very cool sound that these guys are going in. So on this episode, we obviously discussed the Firefight Australia concert. We talk about Calm, what the inspiration was behind it, where they're going, and also where they're at in their personal lives. Obviously, they're four guys in their mid-20s who have been famous and successful since they were 16 years old. And so there was a press release actually that came out with Luke Hemmings, the lead singer, and he talked about that this album is about young men growing up and where they're at personally, where they're at as a band. So we talk a little bit about that, the fact that they worked with Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine and whether they fucking knew about that reunion. And yeah, it was a really, really interesting chat. So here is my interview with Five Sauce, minus Ashton. All right, well, Luke, Michael, Callum.
Yes.
Welcome home, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
First off, where's Ashton? What the fuck is this?
He's signing CDs right now.
Really?
That's actually what he's doing. So
yeah, you can see him
doing
right
a good
through
job.
there. He's just getting through it.
he's signing CDs.
Well, you guys have been on the grind for a couple of days. We'll kick it off with Firefight Australia on Sunday. You can finally add to your resume Open for Queen, which I think is a milestone achievement, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, that lineup was incredible.
Yeah.
We're blown away by where we were positioned in the lineup. Not that there was any sort of, what do you call it?
Hierarchy.
Hierarchy is a great word, and that's the word I was looking for. But it was really cool to play before them. It was beautiful. The sun was going down. Playing ANZ Stadium for a great cause.
Is it true it was like all the dressing rooms were in Kudos Bank Arena and you guys got transported from there to the stadium? Mm-hmm. On like a buggy?
Truth. It wasn't a buggy. It was probably just like a minivan.
Yeah, it was a minivan.
Jetpacks.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty cool you guys come back. That's the first gig you play in front of 75,000 people. And the next day announce a tour. You're back in November. You guys are pretty full on between now and the end of 2020, right?
Yeah. So we have the next song is coming out tomorrow, I think it would be. And then we're releasing an album on March 27th. So we're kind of we're go time right about now.
Yeah. The album is called Calm. I actually picked that up straight away. I know a lot of people ask you what does Calm mean? I was pretty impressed by that. Was that did that take you guys a while to just put that together? I was like, oh, that's a fun acronym. We'll just do that.
It's kind of it's an acronym. I almost said it's an acronym that's been floating around within our fan base for it's kind of since we started. People would say and it was when the keep calm thing was really big, and our fans used to say it as well. And when they figured out that our letters all spelt that, they were like, "Oh crap!" And I think that it's like a super multifaceted name. There's so many different ways that you can take it. and I won't bother going into all of them, but you know,
There's several.
This is a big deal for us, our fourth record, and you know, it's kind of it's like the penultimate of all of the things that we've done up until now, and it's all kind of coming into these songs that we've put on this record.
Yeah.
You've been reading? You got some nice words in there, man.
Multifaceted.
Damn.
Multifaceted.
Good one, right?
Yeah, yesterday I was lucky enough to come aboard this very exclusive yacht party that you guys hosted. Whose
Yeah.
yacht was that?
Oh, it was Cal's.
That was mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, good.
Yeah.
Things are going well for you, so.
Yeah, it's got, Paulie invested in it. Should've got
He
a
didn't
house.
realize that boats lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's depreciated massive amounts.
There was like, what, 15 to 20 people on that boat. We got to hear a couple of the tracks that haven't been released yet. I want to talk about two in particular. First of all, Wildflower. Michael, I think you introed this one, and you said straight up this song was a gamble. When you say gamble, do you mean like this is really a song that fans could love or hate?
I think it's just Wildflower for us is just different. You know, it kind of doesn't really sound like anything we've done before, or kind of anything that I could even tell you that's been done before. It's just really different, and it's really unique, and it was the type of song where you go into it and it's either gonna come out being this like really unique piece of music that stands the test of time, or it's gonna be fucking shit. So luckily it was the first one and not the former.
Yeah, and the other one was Red Desert. Ashton introed this one. Something really interesting he mentioned America, and they recorded Horse with No Name when they were 17.
Yeah.
And this song was about you guys kind of elevating the vocal game you guys bring to it.
Yeah.
What in particular was he referring to with that?
I think we did. Well, we've always done big harmonies, like since we started. We love like 4-part harmonies and all of that kind of thing, all of those kind of things. And I think it kind of sunk in when we did this cover. Correct me if I'm wrong. For the Queen biopic, Big Killer Queen, and we went in, and our producer is also a friend. He did the song with us actually. We did the vocals. He said we're gonna do them how Queen did it. Like we'll sing this harmony all together 8 times or whatever it is, 20 times
In German.
in German, and then we'll go to the next harmony. We'll do that. So it takes a long time, and it's all live together. And that's kind of where it started, and we realized it's a really cool sound for us. And it's just another way of expanding our vocal abilities and showing that like there's 4 singers and it can be like this big block harmony. We love all of Queen stuff like that. So that's kind of, I think that's where it was like, oh, we can do this, and we can do it how it was done, like kind of old school, but mix it in with kind of what we do and like in a new way. Yeah.
You all seem very comfortable and excited about this project. I mean, you said that this is the most confident Five Sauce have been. Michael, you said straight up, this is the best music you guys have recorded.
So stoked.
Yeah, I mean, like,
We're
if Youngblood was like the teaser for fans, is Calm like this is it now? Like you tested the waters with Youngblood, now this is what Five Sauce is and will continue to be moving forward.
I think for like the present time, it's every album I always get up to it. We always finish. I'm like, shit, that's the one. That's like, this is Five Sauce until you make the next one. And it's like, oh, that's just where we were at that point in time. So I think this one's a good representation of us as a band individually and as a whole. And that's I think it sets a good tone for that.
Yeah, even looking at like the last album we released, like I was I still am, but I was over the moon about how that sounded, all the songs in it. And now that feels outdated to us, I feel like, except for Youngblood, that's awesome. But like, it feels a little bit like, I don't know, like you just kind of move on pretty quickly when you're a songwriter. I feel like you just will, like even songs we released off this album, I don't relate to as much as the ones that are going to come out, if that makes sense. Even though I still love them, it's like you keep progressing and moving forward. And even Wildflower is like something we'd never would have done before. And like Red Desert is like we're trying to do Queen and Eagles and like all this kind of stuff. So you kind of just keep progressing and you'll feel more. And this one at the moment, we feel the most comfortable like standing in those shoes.
You said, I think in the presser for this album, you mentioned that this is a personal album for you guys as individuals, as a band. And you mentioned like as young men being in your 20s. Like I've just turned 29 and I'm at that age where people around me and like that I went to high school with, shit has changed in a massive way. Whether it's the guy who was getting naked at house parties is now the kid with 4 babies. Like, how drastically has your life changed being in your 20s? And again, being so successful from the age of 16.
Yeah. I think, I mean, you've kind of answered half the question already. It's like from 15, 16 to 23, 25, I think is the ages we're at now. It's going to be a massive change regardless. And in our circumstances, it was pretty rapid. We had to grow up pretty quickly, and it was kind of not the usual incubation period that a 16-year-old has. So it's changed a fair bit. I feel like us being from Australia or being like friends and being like I don't know, growing up together has kept us all pretty level-headed and kind of the same. But yeah, I mean, stuff's changed. We live in America now. Like, we do this crazy band thing. We play shows around the world. It's like it's a different life, of course, but it's still, I don't know, we still kind of keep our heads on straight, I feel like.
Two-part question here. You guys work with Tom Morello. One,
Yes.
what was that like? Two, how long have you known about the Rage Reunion? Be honest. You fucking knew, didn't you?
I don't fucking know anything.
Really?
No, we didn't.
No. Yeah, the main producer of the album, Andrew Watt, is like, for some reason, is such good friends with all these old rockers. He just resonates with them in a way. I mean, he's best friends with Ozzy Osbourne now.
Yeah, Chad Smith is always at the house.
Yeah, he's best friends with Chad Smith as well.
Sure.
There's like a 50-year age gap between him and Ozzy. Anyway, he asked Tom if he wanted to play on it, and then Tom brought over his pedal board, and he was like, yeah. And then there's another song that The Edge is on. He's playing on it as well. Mm-hmm. And they just do it because they love playing and they love music, and hopefully they love the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about Rage Against the Machine coming
Yeah,
back.
we didn't know about that. Did you know? Did he tell you?
Michael just
Fucking
never-
I had my inside sources. Let me put it at that.
Did you know about the My Cam reunion?
I have my inside sources. Let me put it at that.
Michael did. He did.
Yeah.
He cannot comment for
I
legal
know
reasons.
all. I know.
All reunions.
I know all reunion.
Is
information.
Tom coming back to Blink?
That I do not know, and I wish I did know.
I saw you guys do an interview with Zane Lowe recently. And Callum, you said something that I thought was really fucking admirable, which is that you want to go back to school at some point. Do you have a timeline on that, or is that something you were just sitting on?
I don't have a specific timeline, but I would like to at some point this year. I think it'd be good to, just because we left so young, and I feel like I still there's like a unfinished business there for me personally. So hopefully, if I ever get time, I will go back. But my mom is actually, she's 64, and she went back to school 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like,
So you got time.
I got time.
You'd have to do like an online course, surely.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what you want to do?
You don't just roll up to the high school again?
Yeah, I'll go back.
In the trench coat? No?
I'd probably do English again.
You could be an electrician.
I could be an electrician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a taste.
Carpenter.
That's good.
And then obviously you guys will be back in November for a
Almost
bunch of
making
outdoor
up money.
shows, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You're playing the Forecourt in Sydney,
Yes.
which I know the concert hall's closed, but if you can't play the Opera House, playing adjacent to the Opera House is where you want to be. That's a fucking killer show.
It honestly looks like so fucking cool there.
Yeah, it does look cool, hey?
Yeah, we're stoked for that one.
Yeah.
That was a good Google search. Searched it up. Opera House, Forecourt.
Oh, you guys can make that call as far as like we want to play here?
Yeah. It's super cool. We can choose venues. Oh, within reason.
Yeah.
We're gonna play ANZ.
Did that already, so whatever.
We get to choose what venues we want to play. Like, instead of playing the same venue again, we can go and play like a dream venue, like the Forecourt.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
All right, before we go, I did want to ask, with Calm coming out next month and talking about where you guys are at in your lives, what's your relationship like with your fans now? I mean, like, you obviously have a personal relationship with them. It's obviously ongoing and evolving. Like, I know, Luke, you tweeted something the other day about people need to be more aware of what goes on with mental health, with the way you interact with fans, with the way they interact with you. How do you see that progressing?
I feel like we're our fans when we first came out with the same age as us, and they've kind of grown up with us. So on a musical level, our tastes kind of grew up together. But like on a personal level, it's so much more chill for us. now like it's just like peers, and we talk to them, you know, on the streets. People come up and like, I love this song, or I love what you do, or whatever. And it's like, oh, cool. And it's not as intense. But that was kind of just, that was with everything else going on as well. Like I feel like sometimes everyone kind of knows it, but I felt I just had to say something like the actions you have, what you do and like what you say online and whatnot can affect people whether they say anything back or not. I think that's really important with, you know, some events that happen like with Carolyn and that kind of stuff. It's happened like for years and years, and nothing really ever happens or changes. And if I can say something to, I don't know, clear up any sort of, I don't know, just to have a voice in that kind of area is really important, I feel like, and be like, this is an issue. And if anyone like can be like, oh, okay, maybe I said something, or maybe I did something that affected someone's mental health like that, then maybe, I don't know, it would make it easier for people.
Well, guys, I think we can leave it there. Michael, last words. I know you're the biggest advocate about Calm being the greatest music you guys have produced. Where will Calm sit in the Five Sauce legacy?
Dude, it's just the best album of all time. That's just the problem. Yes, I don't even know where I'd put it because there's no place higher. Nah, I think it's gonna be a lot of our fans' favorite album, and it really is. And coming from a Five Sauce expert such as me, I'm a Five Sauce connoisseur. I would say it's
like fine wine, baby.
le dope.
Yeah. I think we can leave it there. That's perfect. Le dope.
Le dope.
Five Sauce, thank you so much for coming by.
Maybe I should go back to school.
We'll talk soon. We'll see you in November.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's the episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Green Room podcast. Again, the album is called Calm. It's out 27th of March. And for Australian fans, Five Sauce will be back in Australia to kick off a huge headline tour in November. They're starting in the Gold Coast, moving on to Brisbane, Perth, Newcastle, Melbourne, and Sydney. Check out themusic.com.au on the gig guide for all the tickets and details. And if you like what you heard, check out the Handshake Media Network on themusic.com.au to hear some of the other shows, including Matter of Faction and That Sucks. We'll see you all next